presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are so.
From beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, once again, it's time for Braves baseball this afternoon. The Braves will try to cool off Jose Fernandez and the Miami Marlins. It's game 3 of our 4-game series. Beautiful day for baseball. We're glad you're with us here at the 10. Hi again, friends, with Joe Simpson and Tim Hudson. Chip Carey, welcome back to the ballpark. Miami won in extra innings last night. Jose Fernandez with the game-winning hit. He's got the ball for the Fish in game 3. And a new face is pitching for the Atlanta Braves. It's right-hander Lucas Harrell. Joe?
Yeah, he was just called up from Gwinnett to make this start today. He's no kid. He's 31 years old. And he has pitched in the big leagues before. In fact, he's pitched at Turner Field while he was with Houston. This year with Gwinnett, good numbers after he had been released by the Tigers. The Braves signed him and brought him to Gwinnett. He's a sinker baller with a cutter and a changeup. So look for good things from him. He's not going to be scared out there.
Hasn't started in the big league since 2014. And Tim, what a way to break back into the bigs. You've got to face Jose Fernandez, who's got electric stuff for Miami.
You know, he does. He's one of the best in the business. You know, he comes with a mid to upper 90s fastball, and just you can see right there, just a devastating breaking ball. He's been one of the best in the business for a lot of years, and you know, the Braves are going to have their hands full today.
7 innings of shutout ball for Fernandez in that start down in Miami, but the Braves got to the Marlins bullpen and actually won that game down at Marlins Park. Jose Fernandez only 1 career loss on his home mound against the Braves. You see a 4-1 mark, 50 strikeouts and only 11 walks. He doesn't hurt himself. Atlanta tries to take a 2-1 series lead this afternoon on a beautiful day for baseball. It was a tough loss for Atlanta last night. Ender Inciarte got banged up. We'll update his medical condition with Kelsey Wingert right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Of the Marlins versus the Braves. Now, I do have some injury updates for you. Ender Inciarte was hurt yesterday running over to second base. He said he felt it running to the base, not whenever he did slide in there. He said that Snit made the decision to sit him today to give him that extra rest. He does say he does feel a little bit sore, but he is available to come in if they need him to pinch hit. Now, I also have an update on Gordon Beckham, who has been down on the DL with his hamstrings. He was scheduled to play 9 innings today in Carolina at shortstop. They say he's feeling pretty much 100%. Right now, they just want him to get those innings in, get that extra conditioning in, and we can see him up here as early as Monday in Philadelphia. So getting those 2 guys back would be huge for the Braves. Obviously, Ender Inciarte has been doing phenomenal, and Gordon Beckham, before he got hurt the second time, was playing really well, so they're hoping that he will be able to pick off right wherever he left off. But the guys are filling in great for them, and they're hoping to get the bats going again tonight in Game 3 versus the Marlins. We'll be right back with first pitch and starting lineups with Joe, Tim, and Honey right after the break.
Airlines, your local Ford dealer, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Chamber of Commerce weather on Saturday afternoon here in Atlanta for the Braves and the Miami Marlins. The Marlins won in extra innings last night And Lucas Harrell back in the big leagues for the first time since 2014 will make his Atlanta Braves debut today.
9 games total at Gwinnett, 5 starts, 32 innings, few walks in there. He'll need to keep that under control today. And his 4 keys to pitching success. Number 1, he's got to control his nerves. As we keep saying, he's been in the big leagues before, but still it's a great opportunity for him. So early on, try not to overthrow. He uses a sinker. So if you're too amped up, that sinker is not going to sink and it might get hit hard. So we'll find out right away if he's getting some ground balls early, if he's got it all under control.
Braves signed him to a minor league deal on May 21st. He pitched very well with Gwinnett. And so with all the injuries Atlanta has suffered in rotation and the shuffling around to give Matt Whistler some extra rest, well, Harrell was the man that was summoned from AAA, and he's gone 2-0 to Ichiro Suzuki to start today. And Suzuki drives one to deep right. Marquez twisting. He backpedals now and hauls it in at the edge of the track. And there's out number 1. The Marlins hitting .272 as a team, .288 on the road. They can really swing the bats, and no better hitter on the road than Martin Prado. He has the best road batting average in Major League Baseball. Yelich, Ozuna, that man Justin Bour is lurking. JT Realmuto, Derek Dietrich, Miguel Rojas 8th, Fernandez 9th. No Giancarlo Stanton today after another rough night at the plate for the Marlins right fielder last night. And Martin Prado is in there, a .319 average, and he takes low. Good fastball from Lucas Harrell. That one at 93. Martin's having a good road trip for the Marlins, but Miami is 1-3 so far on their trip. Prado has 8 hits. 4 of them came against the Tigers the other day.
He had a good night last night. 3 knocks, 3 for 6. Tell you what, I don't know if those black jerseys would be a good call today. 94 degrees at game time.
And a very slight breeze blowing in toward the home plate area. As that one missed. Full count. Little crossfire action, and that surprised Martin Prado. And he's down on strikes. That's something new for the hitter to think about. 2 outs.
Yeah, dropped down on him.
A little different angle there. It's the best fastball, too. 94 miles an hour right by him.
Love it.
I like his tempo. He's out there. He gets the ball. He gets on the rubber, and here it comes. No messing around.
Yeah, no need for a pitch clock with this guy. He's been rapid fire to start. And he's jumped ahead of Christian Yelich quickly, 0-2.
Well, after the last 2 games, this is right where we want him to be.
That's right. He's excited to be out there. Give me the ball. Let me throw it.
Yeah, this will be a busy day for both ball clubs. As you know, afterwards, the Braves and Marlins will pack up, leave Turner Field, and make their way to Fort Bragg for the Sunday night game tomorrow night. And the logistics and the extra work and the hard work that both these organizations, their clubhouse people, Chris Van Zandt on the home side, Ben Acree, Josh Hall, John Holland, Fred Stone on the visitor side, have done to get these clubs ready for that one-off game tomorrow night is simply remarkable.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to be able to do something like that. They've done a remarkable job.
And just looking at the pictures of the field at Fort Bragg, it is gorgeous. I mean, they've done a great job of creating a major league ready facility from what used to be a golf course, I think.
Yes.
So that'll be a real nationally televised treat tomorrow night. And how about Harrell? 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Prado and Yelich swung late, and we head to the bottom of the first inning scoreless. Miami, the Braves will go to work, try to win their 10th game in their last 17 outings, but boy, they've got their hands full today with Jose Fernandez on the hill for the Marlins.
Yeah, they do. You know, Jose, he's one of the best in the business, and you can see right there, he leads the major leagues in strikeouts per 9 innings by almost 2 over a very dominant Max Scherzer. So should be an interesting game. Hopefully the Braves can scratch out a couple runs early and give their young pitcher a nice lead.
Jose likes to work fast too. The only hit the Braves got off of him 2 starts ago, he went 7 innings of 1-hit shutout ball, and the only hit was a swinging bunt infield hit by Nick Markakis in the first inning.
He threw 7 great innings at the Braves down in Miami, but David Phelps and company couldn't hold the lead, and the Braves won down at Marlins Park. So a no decision for Fernandez, who starts play today at 10-3 for the year.
He followed that start up with an outing against the Cubs, went 7 innings again and struck out 13. Gave up 1 run, beat the Cubs 6-1.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the hottest Braves hitter, Jace Peterson, riding a 12-game hitting streak overall. He has hits in all 18 starts since coming back from Gwinnett. And he's worked him full. There are 6 pitchers in the National League with double-digit win totals. Fernandez has 10. Steven Strasburg has 10. Zach Greinke has 10. Kershaw 11. Cueto and Arrieta each have 12. And a line drive to left. That's going to get down again. A base hit for Peterson. He's turning on the Jets, heading for 2. The throw is late. A hustle double for Jace Peterson to start the game for the Braves.
Tell you what, play better than he's been playing lately. Fastball away from a tough pitcher. He took it that way. Yelich, a good outfielder, makes a strong throw right on the bag, and he still got in there.
I like the aggressiveness on the bases as well.
Let's face it, you don't figure to get a ton of runs off this guy, and Be aggressive like that. You got to love it here in the first inning.
Lead off double to start the game. That's just what you're looking for. Especially a guy like Jose, you know. He seems to be one of those pitchers that seems to get stronger as the game goes on. So I think it'd be important to try to scratch some early off of him, and you know, before he's able to settle in.
Milestone game for Chase Darno last night, his first major league home run. And he looked good out in center field. But with Ender Inciarte hurting, Darno gets another start today.
It was a no-doubter. And then the silent treatment.
That was the best. That was really well done by the Braves bench.
That's just not right.
What's the status of Ender Inciarte? You mentioned last night he slid hard into the second base bag and came up a little sore. Obviously not in there today.
I talked to Ender before the game, and he said he didn't injure himself on the bag. He injured it actually running to second base on the steal day to day. But said he was feeling better today than he was last night.
Two balls, two strikes. And that pops away from Real Muto. Jace Peterson to third base. And the Braves are making Fernandez throw a lot of pitches, already 11 of them in the first inning, and nobody's out.
Yeah, on a hot day, get him to third with nobody out. That's a bonus.
Making him work out there early.
That's down on the field. Goodness.
No penguins walking around out there, that's for sure.
Nope.
Well, you wouldn't know it with those black uniform tops the Marlins are sporting. And the sleeves for Fernandez, too. He'll work out of the windup now. And Darno chased that ball in the dirt, and he is struck out. So 1 on, 1 out. And here's Freddie Freeman. This is always a fun battle between Jose Fernandez and the Braves first baseman. A lot of personal history here because Freddie's hit him very well. And we saw Jose Fernandez in his early days in the big league make pitches to Freeman that Freddie would hit somewhere hard, and Fernandez would just smile and shake his head as if to say, how'd you hit that? A lot of mutual respect with this matchup. And Freddie had a good rip and fouled it back.
That's about the top end for Jose, and it's certainly high enough. 98.
He's throwing so hard you can actually see dust or rosin or something popping out of the glove of Real Muto when he makes the catch behind the plate.
I thought you were going to say you could see a vapor trail.
Fly ball center field, well hit. Ozuna back as far as he can go. It's gone. That was a vapor trail.
Yes, it was.
Well, if you want to know how to turn around a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, you just witnessed it. That's getting the barrel out, folks.
He's feeling good up there, that's for sure.
Only the 6th home run allowed by Jose.
14th for Freeman.
What a good start.
And this is exactly what Don Mattingly doesn't want to see. He needs his starter to go deep in the game, as both clubs virtually exhausted their bullpens last night. Strike one from Markakis, and that's off the plate. Even count at 1-1. So Jace Peterson doubled to left. And after Darno was retired, Freeman hits a 2-run homer to center. That's 2-2. Well, it's no surprise that the Braves have won 9 of 17 games, because in this stretch, Freddie Freeman has been a red-hot hitter for Brian Snitker. With his home run today, the Braves first baseman's hitting 16 of 20 games. He's knocked in 13 runs. He's scored 11 and has an amazing 15 extra base hits. And that was something that we would all agree, and Freddie was the first to admit it, was really lacking in the first 6 weeks of the season. The Braves got off to that awful start.
I said the other day that, and I need to kind of confirm it with him, but it's just an opinion, that he was nursing, you know, a sore side, sore ribs a little bit right at the beginning of the month, and had to cut down on his swing a little bit. And I think it helped him. I think it got him back doing things he used to do, which was hit the ball more to left center field, stay on the ball a little bit longer. That pitch he just hit out looked like outer third that he hit to straightaway.
Ground ball to second, and Dietrich will make the play to first, and that retires the side. Freddie Freeman versus Jose Fernandez. Round 1 goes to the Braves first baseman. It's 2-0 Atlanta. The kids to Turner Field for free. The Braves and Chick-fil-A are now offering 2 free tickets for any remaining home game for all members of the Braves Kids Club. Go to braves.com/kids today and take advantage of this great offer. Stay hydrated, folks. It is a steam bath in Atlanta at Turner Field. Temperature well above 100 on the playing surface. Fans trying to keep cool any way they can as the Braves have jumped in front 2-0. Has fouled off AJ Pierzynski at the plate. No balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's a toasty one out there today.
Marcell Ozuna has been a revelation for the Marlins this year. I recall last season he was exiled to the minor leagues for about a month. All he's done since the start of this year is hit and hit on the road. He's come up with big hits. He's hit a lot of homers. And he's turned himself into the Miami cleanup man with the struggles of Giancarlo Stanton. 2-2.
Cleveland tried to keep their streak alive today, but ran out of gas. Toronto outlasted them today 9-6.
Rajai Davis led off that game with a home run for Cleveland. It was a Johnny Fullstaff game. They had to use their entire bullpen last night, used it again today. Toronto used a couple of position players as Ozuna's down swinging. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Lucas Harrell. Brian Goins was a pitcher for the Jays last night. He injured his forearm while pitching and had to go to the DL today. And Darwin Barney was the losing pitcher last night. Gave up the home run to Carlos Santana in the 19th inning. And oddly enough, started at third base today. But what a remarkable run for the Indians to win 14 consecutive. Was it 14 or 15?
14.
14 consecutive games.
That's impressive.
Justin Boers, the Marlins first baseman. And Lucas Harrell is a pitching machine right now, strike after strike.
Ball's really moving too.
Yeah, I'm really, like I said, I'm liking his tempo. He's getting the ball and he's just he's getting back on the rubber and letting it go.
Swing and a miss. That's 4 straight strikeouts. I was talking with Eduardo Perez, the Marlins broadcaster. He was with Harrell down in Houston, and he said he likes him a lot. He's athletic. As Joe said, he keeps the ball down. And he said it would not surprise him if Harrell came out, smoke coming out of his ears, and pitched 6 or 7 real good innings today. Can't do any better than he's done so far through 1 2/3. And a bouncing ball is handled at third. Adonis loads up and gets his man. 6 up, 6 down. Shut down inning for Harrell, who enjoys a 2-0 lead. And it's time for today's home field advantage, brought to you by Lowe's.
Talked last night about Eric Ibar coming around and kind of being the guy Atlanta fans expected to see when the season began. His last 10 home games, very good numbers, and made a whale of a catch last night running away from the infield.
So Ibar's done good work. He's got his average up to 218. He's knocked in 12 runs. And the first pitch is skied toward left. Yelich glides over into the corner and makes the play. And that's the first out. Took Jose Fernandez 22 pitches to get through the first inning. He's going to have high pitch count simply because he strikes out so many hitters. But he had to work hard to get those 2 strikeouts, and of course the Freeman homer added some more punishment.
Yeah, they made him work in the first inning. A couple 4 counts. Obviously the big homer was a big blow for him, but hopefully we can keep grinding some at-bats out and get his pitch count up there. Make him work on a warm day here in Atlanta.
We used to watch you pitch on days like this, Tim, and we just see the perspiration just cascading off the front of your cap. We wondered if you were just going to melt away entirely.
Man, some days I did.
There's a shot towards center and caught by Ozuna. 2 out.
Boy, AJ's been doing that a lot. It's been frustrating for him because he has centered up some balls to center field that have been caught, and that one actually kind of sliced back to Ozuna a little bit.
It's a hang with him. You know, you're facing a tough pitcher like Fernandez. You square one up, hit a laser somewhere, and it's right to a guy. It's a big hang with him.
A strike to Bonifacio. And just like that, it's 0-2.
Yeah, and if you stay in the box, don't blink because here comes another pitch.
That one's cut on and missed all the way to the backstop. Real Muto will throw wild at first, but backed up by Dietrich. And so that's the 3rd strikeout for Fernandez, but on the wild pitch, Bonifacio will reach, and the Braves will clear the pitcher.
Right between the wickets. It's already 2 wild pitches.
It's probably not the easiest guy in the league to catch.
I wouldn't think. .152 career average for Lucas.
It's respectable.
Lucas once won 11 games in the major leagues. That was in 2012 with the Astros. 11 and 11, a .376 mark. Boy, another former Astro had a big debut with the Dodgers last night. Did you see Bud Norris's line?
I did.
6 innings of shutout ball for the Dodgers as he tries to fill the shoes of Clayton Kershaw. Ground ball to first. Boers got that, and the inning is over. Man left for Atlanta in the 2nd. We head to the 3rd with the Braves in front. Carroll has a 2-0 lead thanks to a Freddie Freeman homer, and now it's our Greatness Made Here feature brought to you by Synovus, the bank of here.
Again, he's no kid, 31 years old, 6'2". See his numbers with Gwinnett. His career record 18-33. Chip just told you he had an 11-game win season 1 year with Houston. And he pitched a real solid game here at Turner Field. I think it was 2 years ago with Houston. 6 innings, gave up a run. Sinker, cutter, slider pitcher, and he's doing just that so far.
That's right. Looking at his numbers from Gwinnett this year, it looks like he's been comfortable on the mound and pounding the strike zone and getting the job done.
And we don't know if this is just a one-off starting assignment or if Harrell pitches well, he'll stay in rotation for the Braves before the break. If he does, his turn would come up when the Braves have the makeup game at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. But so far, he's been very good as Derek Dietrich bats and takes outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, look at De La Cruz. We weren't sure if it was just a spot start for him, but he pitched well enough to get another turn in Philadelphia Monday night.
And there's a line drive by Dietrich, and that's the first Marlins hit of the game. Dietrich's 10th hit and 25 at bats against the Braves this year. Former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, he knows this field well, and he's aboard to start the Miami third. Day off for Adeiny Echeverria today, so Miguel Rojas gets the start. And ball 1. Did it affect you second inning, third inning and beyond if you hadn't been to the stretch, then all of a sudden you have to go there?
Well, I mean, sometimes it could, it can mess with your tempo a little bit. But, for the most part, I mean, you work so much in the bullpen on, pitching from the stretch. That's when you're going to make all of your stress pitches is from the stretch. So obviously, come bullpen times, you're going to do the majority of that work from the stretch. So it should be second nature for you. It shouldn't be that much of a problem.
In my head, I'm watching you wind up. Your wind up, pretty much you were facing third base already anyway. You just kind of stepped back, made your kick, and delivered a lot like out of the stretch.
Yeah, you try to make everything I tried to simplify everything as much as I could with my delivery, and not have too many moving parts, and just try to make it simple, nice and easy, and so that you can repeat your delivery over and over again.
Fernandez lays down a bunt, high throw, and Jace Peterson had to tag the base as that one sailed off to the right from A.J. Brzezinski. It's sacrificed Dietrich in scoring position, 2 outs.
Jose Fernandez is wondering, why in the world do I have to bunt? I just won the ball game for us last night. And he ran down to first base kind of like that. Yeah, he's saving some energy, I guess.
Yeah. He wasn't going to win a race, that's for sure.
So Ichiro Suzuki digs in. Ichiro flied out to deep right his first time up. There is a huge Japanese media contingent following the Marlins now, as Suzuki's 12 hits away from 3,000. And a strike.
Yeah, it is. They love him over there, that's for sure.
You were saying the other night that you started that first game that he played in over here, right?
I did. I was the opening day starter in Oakland, his first game here in the big leagues. And I'm gonna tell you what, it was amazing. The press conference that you had to do after the game, just with the Japanese media, was, I mean, it probably lasted 45 minutes.
Wow. Was that game in Seattle?
It was in Seattle. Yeah. He was as advertised. You was wondering what the transition was going to be like for a Japanese hitter to come over, and obviously, he's had a Hall of Fame type career, and he's been fun to watch. He's been fun to compete against for a lot of years.
Well, you might have thought that the American League was a little too easy. He had 242 hits in his first season in the United States and hit .350 with the Mariners. In fact, that 242 hit total, his second highest in his big league career. Fly ball right center field. That's going to get down, and that's going to score a run. Suzuki on his way to second. He's going to turn and burn and head to third base, and he'll make it with a stand-up triple. That cuts the lead in half, as Ichiro Suzuki now 11 hits away from 3,000. That's his first triple of the year.
And an easy triple. I mean, he was gliding around the bases. For a guy 42 years old, he can still really run.
The old fella's still a productive player. He's still really good.
12 RBIs for Suzuki.
Doesn't show any signs of slowing down either.
No.
No.
Well, he had a stretch where at the ripe old age of 42, he had 10 hits in a 3-game span. Something that had not been done by a 42-year-old or older player since Cap Anson in 1894.
Wow.
Oh, Anson. Huh?
That's Slap Anson's old. Old man Anson's.
That's old man
boy.
Anson's boy right there. Yeah.
Fly ball right. That one's curling toward Markakis, and Martin Prado's retired. And so is Miami. Ichiro's march toward baseball immortality continues with a run-scoring triple. Jace Peterson got things off to a great start for the Braves in the first inning, and he is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot subject.
Last 17 starts, he's hit safely in every one of them, almost a .350 average. He's been in the leadoff spot for, I think, almost all of that, and almost a .400 on base percentage. Great work. If you were with us a couple of nights ago, I talked to him about the difference, and he said he was just trying to let the ball travel a little farther, trying not to lean out there and go to the ball quite as much as he did last year. Trying to stay back.
It sure is paying off.
Sure is.
That's fouled away to the left side. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a swing and a miss. Jace Peterson's retired on strikes. That's number 4 for Jose Fernandez. I mentioned earlier, if you face this Marlins right-hander, first of all, you never really want to because he's just exceptionally good. But if you have your pick of facing him at home in Miami or on the road, you'd much rather get after this guy away from Marlins Park. For his career, Jose Fernandez is 24-1 with a 1.48 ERA on his home mound. On the road, 8 wins, 11 losses, and a 3.64 earned run average.
Quite a bit different. Well, he just struck Jace out on a 90-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah, he's somewhat human on the road. At home, it's pretty tough.
No balls, 2 strikes. Keeps the at-bat alive. It's still 1-2. Chase hit that ball before it hit him.
At 99. Yeah, that wouldn't feel too good, I think.
The 1-2 pitch.
Got a man-eating moth. Well, we had one.
That took care of that. That took care of Darno.
First solid contact Chip's had all year.
2 outs for Freddie Freeman. Yep. Where'd he go?
I don't think he just ran over.
Oh, yeah. Here he is. Ooh, still alive. Barely. Yep. Tim opened his wallet, Joe.
Yes.
And a ground ball by Freddie Freeman out towards second. And the flip to first is in time. 3 up, 3 down. Fernandez has struck out 5, but he trails by 2 here in Atlanta.
1 as we head into the 4th inning, and it is hot here today, but the Braves won't be here much longer because they head to Fort Bragg tomorrow. Now, I was talking to the director of team travel, Chris Van Zandt, yesterday. He said they are traveling 133 people on the charter flight. Let me put that in perspective for you. They normally send 63 on that flight. That's because this is considered a home game for the Braves. So they have to take all of their front office staff, everybody who would normally be there to work a home game has to be on the road for this. Now, as equipment-wise, they're taking everything, treating it like a normal visiting game, besides, of course, these special uniforms the guys will wear tomorrow.
Great report, Kelsey, and I'll speak for myself. I'm disappointed we're not doing the game. I'm disappointed we won't be there. But what a great honor it is to play that game and to play it for the military families in Fort Bragg for both of these ball clubs. What an incredible undertaking to get done what needed to be done to create a major league ready facility out of just vacant land for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, and again, all that work since March. They broke ground in March.
That's amazing. It's going to be a special evening for sure.
Christian Yelich goes to work for Miami and drives one toward left. And Bonifacio makes the play for out number 1. And again, to echo Kelsey's report, the Braves front office will get a lot of credit. The Marlins front office, and justifiably so. The players, coaches, and staffs. But the real men and women doing the grunt work are the clubhouse people to get these teams where they need to go and to get everything set up so the players can go out and do their job. So it's going to be a rough 24 hours for traveling secretaries for the Braves and Marlins too. So Chris Van Zandt, go get them.
I read a note on Fort Bragg. I mean, it is a city unto itself. There's about 250,000 people that are at the base, work at the base. It is for global preparedness, I believe is how they call it. I may have misspoken there, but global readiness, and that all the seats are for the base personnel. That's what I like.
And what's the capacity of the stadium? 12,000?
I think that's right.
That
10 to 12,
right.
somewhere 12. In there.
Arbuckle Jenkins tells us it's 12,500. But the pictures look just beautiful. I mean, the field looks great, and they've got the stands up. They've got a replay center, so the game will operate as close to as normally as possible. As another fly ball, this one toward left center. Bonifacio is over. He's going to give way to Darno. And there's the second out. And most importantly, we found out there is a press dining facility. So
well, that was one of the pressing questions.
Yes. So Dan Shulman, Aaron Boone, Buster Olney, Jessica Mendoza, and our Braves radio crew will be well prepared for first pitch.
Dave Van Horn, Hall of Famer for the Marlins, be there.
Well, how about Lucas Harrell?
He's throwing strikes. Made a little bit too good a pitch on a strike to Suzuki.
A dangerous hitter at the plate right now.
Justin Bour as a 3-0 count. I like this Marlins team a lot. Can they keep it together and improve their play within the division? That's been their real Achilles heel this year. Most of that damage has been done by the Braves, who've won 7 of the first 10 games against the Marlins this year.
I'm going to say they can't, because they don't have enough starting pitching. They can when this guy Fernandez is on the mound, and most of the time when Conley's on the mound, there's his first walk of the day. But they got to have some help in the back end of the rotation, because they're not deep enough. They're nowhere near the staff that we just saw with Cleveland, who's 5 deep, and a scout told me today they got 2 more guys in AAA on standby that should be in the big leagues.
Well, and then just look at what they face in the division. Would you take the Marlins staff over the Mets?
No.
Probably not. Would you take the Marlins staff over the Nationals?
No.
Would you take it over the Cubs?
No.
Giants?
No.
So, yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, they're going to need someone to step up, or they're going to have to go out and find someone.
Swing and a miss by Real Muto, 0-2. Well, they made a big move in getting Fernando Rodney. That cost them a minor league pitching prospect. So what they lack in starting pitching, they feel like they've lengthened their bullpen, and Don Mattingly managed the game very well last night. It worked out exactly the way he wanted. But A.J. Ramos blew his first save of the season when he gave up the Tyler Flowers home run in the 9th inning. Couldn't protect a 5-4 lead. So he's 24 of 25 in saves. Rodney 17 for 17 in the other league. Line drive toward right. Actually, Rodney did that work with San Diego after starring in Seattle the year before. Lucas Harrell, good work again in the 4th inning. He leads 2-0. Nick Markakis will lead off next. As we head to the 4th inning, hope you're enjoying your Independence Day weekend in Atlanta and across the Southeast. Hope you'll stay tuned for Braves Live coming up after our ball game. As always, it'll be presented by Xfinity. We'll have a very special Braves Live on Monday when we join you again from Philadelphia on the 4th of July. Paul Byrd and Sean Farnham from our Fox Sports crew are accompanying the team after the game to Fort Bragg. They'll get some great video. They'll be filing reports from the Fort Bragg game tomorrow night, and can't wait to hear from them when we see you at Citizens Bank Park on Monday afternoon.
I've got a concern about that. Paul Byrd is so patriotic, he may enlist. You know, we may not see him in Philly. He may get caught up in Fort Bragg mania.
I wonder if they'll put him through like the PT training course while he's up there.
He could handle it.
Yeah, that's where I'd have to tap out.
I ball the center.
Me too.
Yeah, you were talking before the game. The old hamstrings aren't quite as limber as they used to be.
That's where I draw the line, guys.
Along with a patriotic,
I love America,
comma, Tim Hudson.
There's going to be no obstacle course for him.
Oh, man.
No.
I tried some CrossFit a couple weeks ago, and I just tried it. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you need to leave that to Kim and the other professionals.
Garcia a strike. He bounced out to second his first time up.
Jackie and Mary Sutton, they're big crossfitters.
Stuff's hard. I'm telling you.
So what you're saying at this stage, you like your curls 12 ounces at a time?
At least 12. Maybe 16.
No balls, 2 strikes. And was that a no pitch? I guess so. Swing and a miss, and the Braves representative for the hammer throw in the Olympics is Adonis Garcia, a little known baseball fact. And he is strikeout victim number 6.
Look at that slider. Started at the middle of the plate. We've all seen Jose and his personality during a game and the fun he has, enjoyment. And after last night's heroics with the double to drive in 2 runs to win the ball game, pinch hitting.
Little flare toward left will drop in front of Yelich. Scheibar has his first hit.
He was all loose and happy to start the game, but he got a wake-up call when Freddie Freeman hit his 98-mile-an-hour heater over 400 feet, and he's had a bit of a scowl on his face ever since.
Yeah, something like that will definitely wipe the smile off your face in a hurry.
Let me ask you this. I wonder if Fernandez is thinking Freddie Freeman's ball in my home ballpark might have been an out. Might have been. That gigantic.
It's a pretty good chance.
Center field fence.
That's a big part.
Hot day, sweaty hands.
Brzezinski's trying to get in on the hammer throw.
It's always amazing, though, isn't it, that a guy with that much pine tar and stickum and 2 gloves on loses it.
Tell you what, that makes you feel kind of cool as a pitcher, though. The guy swings the bat and it comes out. Makes you feel, man, you know what? I got some good stuff today.
Yeah, they're flailing at me.
Can't even hold on to the bat.
Realmuto can't find it, and Ibar is going to move up 90 feet. Another wild pitch. That's 3.
Two-out single, wild pitch. A little payback for AJ for that line out. Maybe a little dunker in somewhere to get a run back. That'd be nice.
To second. Dietrich got a friendly hop, and his peg to first is perfect. The Braves get a 2-out hit, nothing else. We head to the 5th.
Presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Fans trying to keep cool any way they can on a steamy day in Atlanta. Happy Independence Day weekend. Hope you're going to sport the red, white, and blue. Hope you salute the flag. Enjoy some time with friends and families. Stay safe. This will be our last game with you until Monday on the 4th when we start a series with the Phillies up at Citizens Bank Park. Fouled away by Derek Dietrich. The Marlins second baseman has singled and has scored. 2-1 Atlanta the lead in Lucas Harrell's Braves debut today. High hopper. Jace is going to wait for it, and the flip to first is still in time. That was a close play. Dietrich hustled down the line. 1 out.
On that play, Freddie Freeman becomes a hockey goalie. I know it all too well. Staying there from point blank range, and you know the second baseman's got to get rid of it quickly, and you don't know where it's going to come from or how high or low. Just ready for anything.
Yeah, it's a much tougher play than it seemed. Bang, bang, tough hop.
Freddie loves it when you talk about hockey. Celebrated Canada Day the other day. Rojas fly to center. He's 0 for 1.
Talked about Lucas Harrell being a sinker baller and checking out his ground ball outs. He actually has had more fly ball outs today and maybe more strikeouts than he expected. He had a stretch there. He struck out 4 straight guys between the first and second inning.
This one slicing away from Markakis. That's trouble. That's going to bounce high off the fence and into the stands. And that is a ground rule double. Rojas in scoring position with 1 man out.
That wasn't where he wanted it.
Ball 1 to Fernandez.
Rojas had a good night last night coming into the game in the 9th inning. Put down a good sacrifice bunt in the 10th. Singled and was one of the guys on board in the 12th for the double by Fernandez.
Yeah, Brian Snitker had a great line after the game about the Fernandez game-winning hit. Both managers were out of position players. And he kept looking into the Marlins dugout, hoping that in extra innings Don Mattingly had said, Jose, why don't you go back to the hotel and get your rest? We've got a day game tomorrow. But no such luck. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's knocked down by Harrell. Looks the runner back to second, and the throw to first in time, and that was smashed.
Speaking of hockey goalies,
that's right.
A little limpy too.
You might have got him on the thigh.
Yeah, he's not wearing pads like Dan Bouchard used to. This one was really rocketing.
Dead legged him. Saved a run, though.
Yeah, he sure did. That was going to get through.
Do it all day.
He's pointing up high on his thigh. You're right, Tim.
That's just a flesh wound.
If you're going to get it off one of your legs, Which one would you prefer?
Gosh, you know, I'm guessing your back leg. I guess. I don't know either. I mean, you use your legs so much as a pitcher, both of them. You need both of them under you. I guess if you had to pick one, it would be the back one.
Well, that's the one that got hit.
And now he's facing Ichiro, who tripled home a run his last time up. And a strike. It seems so strange to say that you can play a great player too much, but I think that's the case for the Marlins and Ichiro Suzuki last year. He played in 153 games and hit .229 last year. He had 91 hits in his first season in Miami, and he chased a high fastball there, and 3 pitches after the comebacker takes care of the Marlins right fielder. Harrell's pitching a beaut. He leads 2-1. We'll talk more about Ichiro in a moment.
Baseball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. The Georgia Lottery and Synovus, the bank of here.
Pretty day in Atlanta where the Braves lead 2-1. They're coming up for the 5th inning. I mentioned Ichiro and the number of games he played last year. He really did seem to wear down for the Miami Ball Club last season. As Miami approaches the halfway point, this is his 68th game, 155 at bats. And with the injury problems to Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton, Ichiro's gotten a lot of playing time early in the season. And you see his rankings among active players. Most important number, that second column, 11 hits away from 3,000. And what a valuable threat he could be if he keeps hitting like this down the stretch. They get Giancarlo Stanton going. Need a base runner or someone who can put the ball in play from the left side of the plate late in the game. Plus defender.
I'm wondering what kind of trade value he has. Naturally, with the troubles that Stanton has had, he's a real nice insurance policy. Play on days like today. Boy, that was a good sequence by Fernandez,
who has 7 strikeouts now.
But think how valuable Suzuki could be on a contending ball club off the bench and spot starter with his experience and ability.
And I think the Marlins are an intriguing team in that regard, and that's a great term you use, Joe. Contending ball club. Our Marlins are 42-38. They're 6.5 back in the East. They're definitely in the hunt for a wild card. So will the Marlins keep adding to this club? I'm sure they're going to have internal meetings and take a realistic look at where they are and where they think they can be at the end of the season.
He obviously likes it there. I mean, for him, that was such an odd signing to me that he decided to go to Miami, and it's worked out well for both sides.
I mean, they went and recruited him.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Loria, David Sampson, the Marlins front office actually flew to Japan and told Ichiro, hey, we really want you. You're going to play. And they wanted him to get 3,000 hits in a Marlins uniform. Obviously, you get the Seattle connection. At the time, the Mariners were owned by the Nintendo Corporation. As Harrell is down on strikes. And after he left Seattle, you get the Yankees. It seems only fitting that a great player like Ichiro has a chance to don the pinstripes and play for the New York Yankees.
I think what I'm talking about, though, is a team that's already in first place. I mean, they would obviously be a contender, but a team that already looks like they've got a chance to go places in the postseason, to have a veteran presence like that on their team.
Yeah, he can do so many things really well for you, defensively, offensively, running the bases. You know, he's an all-around total package for somebody. I could see how he could be attractive on the trade.
How about the team we just saw, Cleveland?
I'm thinking more along the lines of the Giants and the troubles they've had when their outfield keeping guys healthy. And what a draw he would be there.
Two balls and a strike to Jace Peterson. First inning double. Extended his hitting streak to 13 games. And that's the longest for a Braves second baseman since Dan Uggla's 32-gamer in 2011. Fernandez is rolling. He retired the Braves in order in the fifth. It's a 2-1 game.
Braves are up, and it was a big day for the Atlanta Braves. The international signing period began today, and I cannot express this enough. The Atlanta Braves have been working for this date, July 2nd, for a long time now, and that takes us to our Home Depot tools from the dugout. The Braves signed 5 of the top 25 international prospects today. You see Kevin Maiton, he was the prize of this draft. He's a switch-hitting shortstop, very athletic power hitter. Great guy, but they just did a great job. They've been working with trading and trying to get the money for this year, and they just hit it out of the park today, guys. You can't say enough about what the Braves were able to accomplish to add on to what they already picked up in the MLB draft this year.
Yeah, Kelsey, everybody's excited about the international signing period, and you're right, the Braves went well over budget to acquire not just those 5, but 13 international prospects have been announced as signed today by the Atlanta Ball Club.
I know they're just thrilled because they had pretty much pinpointed Maitan, is that how you say his name, and Gutierrez. Those were their 2 guys they really focused on. They got both of them. That's outstanding.
And what John Coppola said in his press conference just before the game today, with all the emphasis that the Braves have had on drafting pitching, well, they went to the international market and really focused on offensive players. And he made a point to say that Maitan and Abraham Gutierrez could be very fast risers in the Braves farm system. They're only kids. They're 16 years old. But John made a point to say, look, remember, Andrew Jones was a teenager when he hit home runs in the World Series. And he was not saying that these guys will be here in 3 years. But they really feel that they are advanced prospects and that it won't be a 4, 5, or 6 year developmental curve for those two players in particular.
They signed 4 infielders, 3 catchers, 3 outfielders, and 3 pitchers.
It was interesting that, what was it, 4 of the top 5 were listed as shortstops. Which tells you they're very athletic and they could probably move to other positions as they develop.
Christian Yelich, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a lineout. So the plan for those youngsters is they'll get acclimated, they'll get signed. Actually, they have been signed. They will then report to Instructional League. And then next year they'll start playing in the Gulf Coast League. And then, as Copy said, we'll see how they develop, how quickly they develop, and advance them accordingly.
Well, the cream usually rises to the top, so.
That's a little low. AJ held it there for a moment. Yelich got the benefit of the call. It's 2-2.
I'm not even sure Chris Guccione was convinced that was a ball. He was even kind of leaning like,
That was a pretty good pitch.
To first, big hop. Freeman's got it. Harrell got to the bag. Looks like he's running okay after taking a shot off the bat of Jose Fernandez. And he'll make his way back to the mound with 2 outs quickly recorded here in the 6th.
I've been really impressed with Lucas today. He's gone out there and competed well, has pounded the strike zone. Aside from the 3rd inning where he gave up a run scoring triple to Ichiro, he's gone out there and he's taken this opportunity and has ran with it.
Marcell Ozuna, the batter. Did you find, Tim, in your starts that early on it was tougher for you to sink the ball because you're amped up? I may have to get you to answer that after the pop up to the right side is handled by Jace Peterson. Point being, Mr. Harrell's getting the ball on the ground in the last inning or so. We'll finish that thought when we come back for the bottom of the 6th. for Lucas Harrell in the Braves dugout as he's completed 6 innings of 1-run, 3-hit ball against the Marlins today. It's the longest he's pitched in a big league game since 2013 when he did a nice job against the Angels. Close play at first, and Bohr might have gotten stepped on.
Yeah, but the question is who stepped on him. There were 3 guys that got there at once.
Yes, he might have beat that out.
He didn't get stepped on. He just hit the bag awkwardly with his foot.
Yeah. Kind of jammed his ankle.
Guys, I think he might be safe.
That looked like the proverbial tie.
And the Braves are going to take a look at this, it appears. These are such difficult replays to judge. Again, got Fernandez getting out of the way. Bohr's left foot, d'Arnaud's right, and he is.
Can be
safe.
More of a tie.
But he was called out. And again, the line in the replay rule that drives you crazy is there enough evidence to change the call or overturn the call?
Bohr, in the meantime, is really hurting. I mean, he's 275 pounds, and all that weight coming down on his foot to stomp the bag. If he hit it wrong, could have really messed it up.
And Don Mattingly, a former first baseman, is going to come out and talk to Bohr and find out exactly how bad he's hurting. He is not staying by the first base bag. He's walking off. That is not good news for the Marlins.
Must have jammed it pretty good.
Meanwhile, at video control in New York, we await their verdict on the ground ball to first off the bat of Chase d'Arnaud.
Which means Jose Fernandez is standing in the sun and throwing a few extra pitches. That's a good thing, too.
It is.
So the verdict is in, and he is out. So Bohr is trying. I mean, he raced as quickly as he could and came up gimpy. He just tried to jog back to the center of the diamond, and he's really hurting.
Once again, though, folks, doesn't matter what the actual result of the play was. If the umpire made a call on it, 99.9% of the time they're going to uphold that call no matter what the video shows.
So that goes back to our question, why have it?
Exactly.
I mean, here we are. We've got, what, 3-minute delay, 4-minute delay with an injury thrown in as well. And I'm not blaming the umpires, but this is a part of the system that has to somehow be changed or tweaked or improved. 6 straight retired by Fernandez. Let me correct that. That's 4 straight retired by Fernandez, as that one's hit foul by Freddie Freeman. It's strike 1.
You wonder, whatever happened to the tie goes to the runner adage in baseball.
Yeah.
It's more of the tie goes to the umpire.
Agreed. That's a great way of putting it.
And in my opinion, that wasn't even a tie. I think he just beat him.
Swing and a miss. And to Joe's point about the 99% of the calls, it seems like it's that way when it's the Braves. Obviously, there's a much different number collectively throughout Major League Baseball. There have been 749 reviews as of yesterday in Major League Baseball. As a line drive is safely into center field for Freeman. He cracked another hit against Fernandez.
Jose looked in at Real Muto and threw his hands in the air like, I don't know what else to try.
I'll tell you, when the big fella's locked in, he's fun to watch. It's hard to get him out.
And these two have such a great Generation X relationship on the mound and in the batter's box. I mean, Fernandez, you know exactly what he's thinking. And for a hitter, Joe, there can't be a better feeling in the world than to see a pitcher react like that.
You know it. It's a wonderful thing. And he was trying to waste one upstairs to see if he would chase. He never envisioned him going up there, especially Freddie, who's such a devastating low ball hitter, to go up there and single off that pitch.
Freddie's just goofy enough to hit one of those pitches, you know.
Yeah.
So instead of 2 on with nobody out, you've got Freeman at first after Darno was called out after review. And to finish that point, 749 reviews in the big leagues through yesterday's play. 199 of them confirmed, 186 stand, 356 were overturned. And there's a base hit to right by Markakis. And Freeman's not going to run on Ichiro. And 2 are on with 1 out. So 47.5% of all the reviews were overturned. 51%, 52% were confirmed or stood. There were 3 record-keeping reviews, and the average time of review as of yesterday officially 1 minute and 41 seconds. But to your point, the Braves have not had much luck at all with regards to the challenge system that's in place now.
So out of all the challenges, every single team that makes a challenge, they're convinced that it should be overturned.
Sure.
Or they wouldn't challenge it.
Exactly.
But only 40, what was it, 40?
Less than half are actually overturned.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that most of the replay guys aren't blind. I would think that they would have a little better percentage than that of being able to see the play.
So again, my point is, if the system is roughly 50-50, and look, 52% to 47%, that's not a gigantic margin of difference. If it was 30-70, 60-40, you might say, okay, this needs to continue. But if it's 50-50 and a flip of the coin,
you're not accomplishing much.
Right. And as I've said before, I love what they're trying to do. I love that they're trying to get all the calls right. What I don't like is the human factor and the inherent emotion that happens when you have the managers and umpires talking about a call, sometimes not so politely. We saw that for the Braves when Brian Snitker came out here the other day. That fired up this Braves team. They really responded to that. They responded when Francoeur got thrown out arguing a play at first. As this one's dumped toward right, that's going to get down, and that's going to bring Freeman around third, and he's going to score. Garcia with a bloop double, and Atlanta extends the lead. It's 3-1, 3 straight hits here in the 6th against Fernandez. That is a frustrated Marlins pitcher in the center of the diamond.
This reminds me of how the Marlins got a couple of runs yesterday when Ozuna was having a good day. He and Prado dumped a couple in that weren't hit hard, just well placed.
Jonas massaging the back of his right leg. Can't afford to lose another Brave to a leg issue. They're hoping to get one back, by the way, on Monday. Gordon Beckham's been rehabbing in the minor leagues. It's expected that Gordon could join the ball club on the 4th of July up in Philadelphia. So a very long meeting on the mound for Fernandez.
Like Moore's going to come out of the game.
It's Chris Johnson who's going to come on and play first. I don't know exactly what more hurts, but just watching him try to walk onto the field during the video review, replay review, he was really, really hurting. So Chris Johnson will take over at first. He'll be the leadoff hitter when Miami comes up in the 7th. Braves have 3 straight hits. They lead 3-1. And here's Ibar. He has one of the Braves' 6 base hits. This is only the 2nd time in the head-to-head matchups between the Braves and Jose Fernandez that Atlanta has scored more than 2 earned runs in a game. They've got 3 so far. They will have the bases loaded. And AJ Przinsky, the Braves catcher, will stand in.
Nobody loosening in their pen.
They've made him work today. That's for sure. From the first inning on. He's already almost at 90 pitches. Like you said, Joe, there's no one in the pen leaving around yet.
Yeah, and with all the work in the bullpens last night, you can understand that.
That's right.
For both managers.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, is there anybody in the bullpen better than him?
No.
So I don't think there's another guy you'd rather have out there in a bases loaded situation than Jose Fernandez.
AJ Przinsky is the batter. He's 0 for 2. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Line drive, right field, a base hit. Garcia's waved around. The throw's going to be cut off as it was on its way to third base. AJ jumped all over the first pitch and spoils the strategy. It's 5-1 Atlanta.
That's got to make you feel good. Get a base hit after they intentionally walk a guy in front of you to load the bases.
And he'd hit the ball hard twice. He lined to center. He grounded out sharply to second. And then he picked on a 90-mile-an-hour changeup that had a lot of the plate. There's some payback for those line outs.
Again, as talented as Jose Fernandez is, he's a different guy on the road. He gave up 4 runs to the Diamondbacks on June 11th at Chase Field in Phoenix. He gave up 4 runs to the Giants on April 23rd. He surrendered 5 runs on 7 hits to the Braves in Atlanta today.
He only gave up 5 runs total in June.
And if that replay would have gone our way, it'd be another one. No outs.
Emilio Bonifacio's the 7th man to hit in the inning. 4 hits and a walk. And I think Fernandez came a little unglued after the 0-2 single by Freddie Freeman. That got the base runner parade started for the Braves. And Boney didn't get it. 0-2 the count. Now action begins in the Miami bullpen.
Dustin McGowan.
Ground ball. Chris Johnson has that deflect off his glove. Race to the bag. It's late. A run is in. Ibar scores. It's 6-1. It's an error and an RBI.
He was safe there.
Yeah.
No need to check that.
No need to check that one.
So Jeff Francoeur will hit for Lucas Harrell, who is in line for a very successful Braves debut today. 6 earned runs allowed by Fernandez. That ties his career high. Lucas Harrell, 6 innings, 3 hits, a run, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Very good day.
Yeah, I know Snit is extremely pleased with the right-hander. A tough draw with a tough right-hander.
Yeah.
On the mound for the Marlins, and against a pretty hot hitting ball club. Went out there and done a nice job.
Tomorrow night, Matt Whistler for the Braves, Adam Conley, the left-hander for Miami. First pitch at 8:05 from Fort Bragg. It's popped up right side, and Chris Johnson will not have a play. Make sure you tune into the Braves radio network if you want to hear a ball game tomorrow night. Jim Powell and Don Sutton will make their way with the ball club after action today. Shadows now creeping across home plate as we approach 6 o'clock. And Fernandez and Real Muto want to talk about it. As we told you earlier, Cleveland's long winning streak came to an end in Toronto. 9-6. The Blue Jays beat them. Rough day for Texas today. They ran into a buzzsaw in Minneapolis. Twins won 17-5 today.
Wow.
White Sox are beating Houston 5-4 in the 5th. Detroit 2-1 over Tampa Bay. As that one's rifled foul. Royals and Phillies are set to start any minute. That game at Citizens Bank Park. All the other action much later on tonight. That's popped up toward first, and Chris Johnson puts the squeeze on that. Infield fly takes care of Francoeur. There's out number 2.
Jose thought it was 3 outs.
Jose was about to walk off the field. He's been out there long enough to feel that way.
And then you look in the box, and it's one of the Braves' hottest hitters.
Mm-hmm.
He's had to throw 26 pitches in this inning. The Braves have sent 9 to the plate. Jace Peterson with a first inning double and a run scored. Braves got 2 in the opening inning, 4 so far here in the 6th. Swing and a high drive down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is out of here. Woo! Jace Peterson unloads a big 3-run homer.
Boy, is he on fire.
An off-speed pitch, and Jace's top hand came off the bat, but he got great extension on it and was able to keep it fair. Change up again. They have crushed some of his change-ups this afternoon.
Just stay fair.
Stay hot. I wouldn't know what that was like to be as hot as he is right now, but he is something else. Dancing Bobcat territory.
9 runs allowed by Jose Fernandez, a career high, and the Braves have a big lead.
And Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience. Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by The Home Depot and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Hot weather and hot Atlanta hitters in this series against the Marlins. The Braves have pounded Jose Fernandez for 9 runs on 8 hits, 2 homers, and they have chased the Marlins' young right-handed pitcher here in the bottom of the 6th.
Most runs in an inning for Atlanta this season. Who would have thought it would come off Jose Fernandez?
It's been a costly inning for the Marlins. Not just the runs, but they've lost Justin Bour, their first baseman, to an apparent injury. And McGowan on for his 26th appearance of the year.
It was a rough inning all the way around for the Marlins.
Darno pops one up. Left center field. Who wants it? It will be Ozuna, and that retires the side. A very long inning. 10 men came up for the Braves, and 7 of them scored. Jace Peterson, 2 more extra base hits. He's got a 3 RBI day, and the Braves are blowing out Miami 9-1.
It is now 9-1 as they extend their lead over the Marlins, and it's time for your Xfinity game break. We'll take you back to Toronto for the 3rd day in a row because that series has been incredible. Michael Saunders in the bottom of the 8th with a 2-run double, giving the Blue Jays a 9-6 lead. And also a big note, former Brave Jason Grilli getting his first win in Toronto as the Jays snap the Indians' 14-game win streak. But big congratulations to Jason Grilli because he was just a pleasure to have here in Atlanta.
Yeah, wish Jason well, and you're right, back and forth game up in Toronto. As the Braves now with a 9-1 lead will head to their bullpen. Mauricio Cabrera is going to come on and face Chris Johnson, and his first big league pitch was triple digits.
It's a cool 100 right there.
Yeah,
right out of the chute.
In the shadows. Marlins players are praying for clouds right now.
But velocity doesn't help you if you don't throw strikes, and 4 straight puts Chris Johnson aboard, leading off Miami's 7th inning.
Yeah, there's no way to defend it.
But this is the kind of game you don't mind seeing Cabrera come in. He's thrown 2 big league innings over 3 appearances. Get him some extended work. And save the rest of the Braves relief corps, which again, like Miami, had to work overtime plus last night.
Oddly, he doesn't have a strikeout yet, does he?
He does not. So how about that? He could throw 103 miles an hour. That pitch dropped in at 82.
Nice little curveball. Good call by AJ after he missed with all fastballs.
Again, you don't want to fiddle around too much, even with this big lead. The Marlins do have some thunder left on their bench. Remember, Giancarlo Stanton didn't start. He's available.
Bonds is ineligible, is he?
Well, he has been for a while, yes, thankfully.
He did some damage in this ballpark.
Yeah, I can vouch for that one.
Bouncing ball up the middle. That's into center. Real Muto with a hit, his first of the day, and 2 are on with nobody out. Yeah, there's so many things about Barry Bonds that were amazing. He might see 4 pitchers every game. I mean, you might see starter once, then middle relievers, then the closer late in the game, and he might see 1 pitch a game to hit, and more often than not, he hit it. And we can argue all day long about how or why. The fact of the matter is, he could flat out hit.
Yeah, he did it. He didn't miss it when he got it. That's for sure. A lot of times.
Derek Dietrich, the batter, with 2 on and nobody out.
In 2004 with the Giants, Barry Bonds, 147 games. He walked 232 times. Only struck out 41 times. He had an on-base percentage of .609.
I can't remember the year, but there was a game that they played against the Diamondbacks when Buck Showalter was the manager. They had a 2-run lead in Phoenix. They walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded to get to Jeff Kent.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
And won the game, but what respect that is for
ultimate respect.
Barry Bonds. Nothing in 2 for Derek Dietrich, who has singled, scored, and grounded to second. Now the 1-2 pitch. You know, all Braves fans everywhere remember the story, or many should. There was a time where Barry Bonds was almost an Atlanta Brave. And you think about how baseball history might have changed had Barry Bonds worn the tomahawk and not continued in Pittsburgh and then on to San Francisco. Braves had a deal completed with the Pirates in 1992. 9 months before Bonds became a free agent and went to the Giants. The deal was Barry Bonds for Alejandro Pena, Keith Mitchell, and a prospect to be named later. And apparently the Braves had shaken hands with Ted Simmons, who was the general manager of the Pirates at the time. That deal was done. It was about to be announced, and then Ted Simmons had to call John Sherrill to say, look, I'm getting huge blowback from our owner and our fans in Pittsburgh. We can't do the deal. And so Obviously, the deal wasn't done. Could you imagine Barry Bonds in the middle of a Braves lineup with that pitching staff in the early 90s? Not that the Braves weren't already good, but wow.
Yeah, that would have been pretty strong.
With a lineup that was already deadly.
Yeah.
I think there'd have been a few more red banners out there.
So Cabrera, with his first big league strikeout, takes care of Dietrich. Kind of interesting. Man gets his first major league save before his first major league strikeout, but that's happened to Cabrera. And Miguel Rojas hits with 2 on 1 out. One ball, one strike. We are in the 7th inning. Joe Simpson, Tim Hudson, Kelsey Winger, Chip Carey, our great Fox Sports crew. Brian Woodrum, our producer. Mike Miller, our director. And a chopper hit to the left side. The play is to first. High throw. Freeman to his tippy toes. Hangs on. And the runners move up, but now there are 2 outs.
Nice stretch by Freddie right there.
Yeah.
Showing his agility.
And using the bag to tiptoe up off the bag to get a little extra reach.
Cole Gillespie grabs a bat. He'll hit for McGowan, who retired the only batter he was assigned in the Braves' 6th. These are valuable learning situations for Mauricio Cabrera. Come in with some. Comes in with a clean inning, but has a couple of base runners on. Let's see if he can pitch out of it. Right now, I think the radar gun is stuck on 100. He hasn't thrown a pitch above 100 yet. Two balls, no strikes for Cole Gillespie. The Braves have chased Jose Fernandez with 9 runs today. 7 came across in the 6th. And that's headed for the stands. Look alive, everybody. Cole Gillespie was called up on April 29th from New Orleans. He didn't make his first start until May 25th.
Well, that's the epitome of stay ready.
He's done some good work against the Braves this year. He's ahead in the count. And that's over the inside corner.
Knock it down, AJ.
Lifetime Gillespie, a .297 hitter against the Braves. The 2-2 is flipped into shallow center. d'Arnaud is there. He's got it, and Cabrera pitches into and out of trouble. Time to stretch in Atlanta here at Turner Field. 9-1 Braves in Game 3. Fly ball center field, well hit. Ozuna back as far as he can go. It's gone. That was a vapor trail. Indeed it was, as Freddie Freeman has bested his buddy Jose Fernandez again. Freeman with 2 hits, including a 2-run homer. And his maybe biggest hit won't be the home run, but his last time up.
Tomahawked an 0-2 pitch that they were trying to elevate up out of the zone, and Jose Fernandez threw his hands up like, now what do we do?
And from that point on, Fernandez was a different guy. It was still very much a close game. It was 2-1 Atlanta at the time of that base hit by Freeman. But 3 straight hits, a walk, a hit, an error, a pop out, and then the Peterson home run ended the day for Jose Fernandez. So Mike Dunn, the former Brave, who's really struggling, will come on in a 9-1 game and try to rediscover the magic for the Marlins. Dunn was on the disabled list, as we told you, with a left forearm strain, the first time he's ever been on the disabled list. And that was hard hit, and that's past Dietrich. That's into right center field, and Freeman's aboard again. That's his 3rd hit.
You're hot, you're hot.
Tell you, between he and Jace Peterson right now, pretty nice combo at the top of the order.
Yes, it is.
Since 2011, Mike Dunn has pitched the 9th most games among all relievers in the big leagues. And that might be catching up to him this year. This stuff just hasn't been as crisp and sharp when we've seen him. And Nick Markakis hopes to take advantage on our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Back to the mound. Echeverria just checked in at short, and he turns the double play. 2 outs. A 1-6-3 twin killing. First double play hit into by either club today.
By the way, Rojas moved to 3rd base. He's still in the game, and Prado is out of the game.
Chance for Don Mattingly to get some rest for his regulars, as this one's 9-1 in favor of the Braves. Garcia doubled home a run in the 6th. Quickly 0-2. Last 2 outings for Mike Dunn, 1 inning, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. That's not like him. So he's in a low leverage situation today. Gave up a hit, got a double play ball. He's trying to get back in line here. And another dribbler hit out to short. Echeverria's got it, throw to first, and Mike Dunn works a scoreless 7th. Top of the order coming up for the Marlins in the 8th. They trail 9-1. This is at 3:30 Eastern on Fox Sports Southeast. If you can't catch it on television, that's okay. You can stream Braves games on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, a free app available through the App Store. Just download, log in, and watch the Braves wherever you go. Presented by Circle K, home of the world-famous Polar Pop Cup.
The old PPC has really taken the city by gangbusters, too, by storm. Polar Pop Cup.
Yeah, as Billy Wagner would say, it's very highfalutin.
Yep. I hope he got his truck back. I have my doubts, but haven't heard any more on it.
Probably get it back in pieces.
So if you're listening, whoever stole Billy's truck, will you bring it back?
Please.
Yeah.
In one piece, preferably.
Yeah. What was it that Hunter Pence, he had a scooter that he was riding and somebody stole it at the ballpark? Is that right, in San Francisco?
Yeah, they stole it from just outside the park.
And he just said, hey, just bring it back.
Yeah, they brought it back.
And all's forgiven.
Yeah, they brought it back.
So Dario Alvarez is on to pitch the 8th inning. He'll face Ichiro Suzuki, who tripled home Miami's run back in the 3rd. That made it a 2-1 game versus Lucas Harrell, who started and pitched 6 terrific innings in his Braves debut today. Mauricio Cabrera went an inning with a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. Now Alvarez has the top of the Marlins order. Tim, you've been interviewed a couple of times by the Japanese media here, including NHK, the Japanese broadcaster. What kind of insights were they asking of you with regards to Ichiro?
Well, just, obviously, I was the first pitcher that he'd ever faced, and he was asking me what I recalled, from that first series facing him, and just throughout the, my time in Oakland, we had such a nice rivalry between the two of us, and we competed, for the American League Western Division, for 6 years, while I was there, and he was as advertised. There was a lot of fanfare when he came over from Japan, and deservingly so, and it was a circus though when he was around. I'm telling you, the media, the Japanese media was everywhere, and it was, he was there. He was their superstar to come over and prove that a Japanese player can come over and not only pitch in the major leagues, but play a position. He was the first position player to come over and really, play to that caliber. And he's been doing it for a lot of years since.
2 balls, 2 strikes from Dario Alvarez. And he spoiled that pitch. 2-2. Joe and I talk about this quite a bit. He's not a rookie, or he wasn't a rookie when he got over here, but he was a first-year player. I'm sure that had to be a huge advantage for him facing professional pitchers in Japan before he became a professional in the major leagues here.
There's no question about it. I mean, obviously, he had, 1,200 plus hits in Japan before he got here. He's a seasoned veteran before he got here. And obviously, come to the major leagues, you're playing the best players in the world.
How about that sequence?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Telling you, Dario's slider can be devastating. It can make even the best of hitters look bad.
It's hard to make him swing like that. Must have been good.
That's 13 strikeouts in his last 8 appearances. He had 5 of them against Cincinnati in the long extra inning game on June 15th.
It's funny. I talked to some of the Mets folks when they were in town about Dario, and Atlanta got him after the Mets had let him go. And
to short. Scoop. Throw in time. Echeverria is the second out.
Nice play, Eric. Playing good baseball, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
But they were talking about Alvarez. We got great reports on him. He was throwing, 93, 94 in AAA with an unhittable slider. We'd call him up, and he was throwing 90 and 91 and hanging sliders left and right. We'd send him back. Same thing. Bring him up. It wasn't happening. I said, it's happening here. He's been pitching really well for the Braves.
And he's got another left-handed hitter in Christian Yelich. That one skied foul for strike one. Braves Live presented by Xfinity follows Game 3 between the Braves and Marlins here in Atlanta. It's been a good day for the Braves. Lucas Harrell started. Scoreless work so far by Cabrera and Alvarez out of the Braves bullpen. Worst day for Jose Fernandez in the big leagues. He gave up 9 runs in 5 2/3. And a line drive to left is down. And a base hit for Yelich the other way. Keeps the inning alive. That's his first hit today.
Are you guys a believer in what I said about Yelich the other night about his damage is that way? That pitch looked like it, and it was a left-handed pitcher. I understand, so he's probably not thinking about pull, but it was down the middle. Nice little inside-out swing. And drove it the other way. He grounded out to Freddie his last time up, but I think that's the only ball he's pulled this whole series. One other 3-6-3 double play, and that's it.
You know, I think with most hitters, when they're locked in and they're feeling really good at the plate, they're able to go the other way and stay up the middle and use the middle of the field and the other way. And you know Jace is probably feeling the same way. Freddie, you know, he goes the other way with the best of them.
And then when you do make a mistake to him, middle in, then they will turn.
That's right. That's when you know they're feeling good, when they're able to hit line drives over the shortstop's head on a pitch that they're supposed to do it with.
Well, we've talked about it quite a bit with Yelich. Had all kinds of injury problems last year that sent him to the DL twice. He was hitting under 200 as late May. He finished the year at 300 on the button. So think about the barrage of hits he put together over the final 4 months of the season to hit 300 for the first time in the major leagues. Bouncing ball towards short. Ibar charges this one. He'll throw on the run, and that takes care of Ozuna. Dario Alvarez continues his impressive work out of the Braves bullpen. He strands Yelich after a 2-out hit. It's 9-1. Fans, you can enjoy brunch at Turner Field Sunday, July 17th with a catered buffet featuring some of the newest Braves food creations and a Bloody Mary and mimosa bar. Visit Braves.com/brunch and secure your spot at this awesome event. Jeff Mathis checks in behind the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 23,448 the announced crowd at the ballpark. Braves went over 1 million in attendance at home last night. Ground ball toward first. Chris Johnson gives ground, feeds the pitcher, close play, and they just got it. Throw was a little behind Mike Dunn, but no argument from Eric Ibar. He's out number 1.
Had a few of these today, haven't we? Yep, just got it. Good call by Alfonso Marquez. I'm assuming this crew will go to Fort Bragg as well.
Makes sense. Don't know. Hope they have an umpire's room for him.
Unless Fort Bragg says, we've got umpires.
AJ Przinsky with a big hit in that 7-run 6th for the Braves. After Ibar was intentionally walked to load the bases to set up a double play, AJ jumped on the first pitch he saw and ripped a single that scored 2 runs. Driven toward left, Yelich back into the shadows and to the warning track, makes the play. And that's the second out of the inning. When we join you again Monday afternoon, it'll be a late afternoon start in Philadelphia. Braves live at 3:30 Monday, 4:05 first pitch. Joel De La Cruz against Jared Eichhoff. Tuesday night, Fultonevich and Zach Eflin. And then Wednesday, we wrap up the series with the Phillies, Julio Teheran and Jeremy Hellickson.
Gonna miss Aaron Nola. That's a break.
He's pitching today, I think, for the Phillies. He is. Phillies playing better. They've won 6 out of 10 coming into today's action. And they've jumped in front 1-0 early at home.
Touching media medical update for the Marlins. Justin Bour left today's game with a right ankle sprain. It's a right ankle sprain for Justin Bour.
So Justin Bour, we have just heard, sprained his right ankle on that play at the first base bag. Marlins can't lose him. Bonifacio takes strike 3. Dunn faces the minimum over his 2 innings of relief, and we head to the ninth. Up to the moment, at any moment, with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. As we head to the ninth inning, it's 9-1. Atlanta is in front. Let's check out our cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
You would kind of expect 2 teams who are near the bottom or at the bottom of their divisions to be going through a lot of pitchers trying to find a good combination or battling injuries. The surprising part to me is the Miami Marlins, who have a winning record, are in third place, and they've only used one pitcher less than the Braves have.
We'll take you back to the struggles that they've had in the rotation, you know, behind Fernandez this year. It's gonna do it.
And on a day when the Marlins were hoping to build some momentum after an extra inning win last night behind their big horse in #1, Braves jumped on him for 9 runs, the most he's ever allowed in a big league game. And as we said, if you're going to face Fernandez, face him on the road, not on his home mound where he's lost only 1 big league decision. Johnson, a base hit on the second pitch, leads off the Marlins' 9th. That's Miami's 6th hit of the game. So Mathis will hit. He came on just a few moments ago. Bouncing ball up the middle. That's a base hit for Mathis. 2 on and nobody out. Braves will be back home for a brief 3-game series after the All-Star break. The Colorado Rockies and their terrific left side of the infield will be here. Hope you'll join us Friday night for Zombie Night. Fans who buy the special Zombie Night ticket package get the A.J. Przinsky Zombie Field bobblehead. For more information on that package, go to Braves.com today.
And if you haven't seen Nolan Arenado play, you need to come to Turner Field and see him. Not bad, is he, Huddy?
Yeah, he's pretty good. I had my fill of him the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good ball player.
Popped up by Dietrich. That is out of play.
We hear a lot about his offense. He's always near the top of the league in so many different offensive categories, but he won a Gold Glove, I think, for the 2nd year in a row last year.
Yeah, he is. His defensively, he's one of the best going in either league. So he's an all-around great player, man. He can hit with power, average, and you know, Gold Glove caliber defense.
And the man that plays to his left is no slouch either. Trevor Story is making a bid for the Rookie of the Year award in the National League. Story is 4th in the National League rookie race in hitting, 1st in homers, 1st in RBIs. 19 homers and 50 knocked in before the All-Star break as a Major League rookie. And that's up and in. It drills Dietrich, who is again just a magnet.
Just a ball magnet.
And that's going to load the bases.
That one hurt. That was right between the shoulder blades, I think. No, right on one of the shoulder blades.
He's going to need some ice for that one.
Tell you what, the 9th inning on a getaway day at Turner Field has not been kind to Dietrich. He was in the dugout, Huddy, the last time they were here. Bottom of the 9th. I think it was the bottom of the 9th. Somebody sliced a rocket into the dugout. It hit the back wall of the dugout and then hit him in the back of the head and knocked him out. They had to leave him here for observation.
Pinballed him, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's a tough way for your day to end.
So after a quick chat, Rojas digs in, bases loaded, nobody out. Braves do not want to have to use another reliever if they can avoid it. And after the conclusion of the 8th inning, Alvarez walked off the field. Brian Snitker met him at the second step of the dugout stairs, and I think asked him, look, can you give me another inning? And the answer was obviously yes. But Alvarez not nearly as sharp here in the ninth. 2 hits and a hit batsman, nobody out. There's a good pitch.
He did have a 2-inning stint on June 15th against the Reds. No hits or runs, walked a couple, struck out 5, and that was his Braves debut.
Don't give these guys any hope. And action has begun in the pen. Popped up, shallow right. Markakis shading his eyes, makes the catch. No advance. As he hit the cutoff man perfectly, Rojas retired. There's the first out. And fans available for any remaining game during the 2016 season. When groups of 20 or more buy their tickets together, each person gets a limited edition replica red Chipper Jones jersey shirt. Packages start as low as $20 per ticket. Go to Braves.com/Chipper for group sales information. And here is Giancarlo Stanton. Interesting, when we were in Miami, we saw Stanton not use the face guard against a left-handed pitcher. Last night was the first time I saw him hit against a right-handed pitcher without the face guard. Well, with a lefty out there, he is wearing it. I don't know if that has any effect on what he's doing at the plate, other than he's got to make sure he has the right batting helmet on.
Maybe a coin flip thing.
Yeah. But, you know, he didn't have it on last night with the right-hander, and remember, one buzzed his tower.
Right.
And since then, he's had it on.
Great deal of respect for Giancarlo Stanton to be able to come back from what could have been a career-ending injury. He's hit the face, but he can't make solid or consistent contact right now. Another strikeout. And really, it's pick your pitch. He's missing fastballs, he's missing sliders, he's swinging at stuff off the plate.
It's almost like he's not picking up the spin at all on the baseball. That was a big, long, sweeping swing that he thought was a fastball away, and the slider just ducked right under his bat. There's no attempt to keep his hands inside the ball.
98 strikeouts for Stanton now and 252 at bats. And I'm sure there are those who would agree that strikeouts in this day and age don't matter when you are at least making some contact. Stanton does have 15 homers. He does have 40 RBIs, but still a very low average.
You know when they matter? When the bases are loaded.
Yeah, right.
And your team's down.
Yeah. Then they really matter.
23,000 plus stand as Ichiro Suzuki is the final hope. Alvarez made him look bad in the 8th. He's going to try to finish him off here in the 9th. Miami had him loaded with nobody out. They're still loaded with nothing in and an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. He got Ichiro twice. And the Braves hammer Miami in Game 3 of this series. Your final score, Atlanta 9, the Marlins 1. Another big day for a red-hot Jace Peterson. Freddie Freeman set the tone with a first-inning home run, second of his career against Jose Fernandez. And Lucas Harrell, in his Braves debut, pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball to pick up the victory. Great way to head to Fort Bragg. It's the Braves who are bragging today. 9-1 is your final score.